Hello and welcome to the game that nobody plays. Final Fantasy, and I'm on a mission.
Yes.
We're doing a rocky montage up to regionals, aren't we?
Yeah.
I am teaching Tyney how to play Final Fantasy, and the aim is to get Tyney to smash face with yellow birds.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Because we've built Tyney a Chocobo deck. So, I'm going to start with the basics.
Okay.
There are 4 types of cards in Final Fantasy, divided into 7 main elements and 2 side elements, which are light and dark, which are special elements. All the other ones follow the same mechanics.
Yeah.
Light and dark are just special. There are 4 types of card: forwards, summons, backups, and monsters. But I don't think there's any monsters in my deck or your deck, so you don't have to worry about them.
Okay.
So, forwards are constants. They're on the field until they get taken away from the field, either from your effects or being damaged and broken.
Okay.
They're your main way of dealing damage to your opponent or stopping damage being done to you.
Yeah.
And the aim of the game is to do 7 points of damage to your opponent.
Yeah.
Summons are effects that come in, resolve, and then are put into the discard. They can have lingering effects, but they are quite literally flash done.
Okay.
Backups are constants as well, but their purpose is either to have an effect on the battle, like a field effect, or used to tap to gain mana.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it mana because it is mana. The main way of getting mana is either discarding a card to generate 2 crystal points or 2 mana, or tapping a backup to get 1.
Yeah.
Each card has a cost. Like Ilua has 3. So to pay for Ilua, I have to tap a backup and discard a card.
Yeah.
That gets me 3. Or I can overpay by discarding 2 cards to pay for the 3. Yeah, the lingering crystal point just disappears.
Okay.
It dissipates, as they call it. That's pretty much the basics.
Okay.
The way we're gonna play it is we're gonna play it face up. So our hands will always be on show, and we'll guide you through a few turns.
Okay.
So if you take your deck and shuffle it up,
Shuffle it, yeah.
you're playing a mono wind deck, which means there's only wind cards in it. So like I say, you don't have to worry about mana fixing. I'm playing a mono lightning deck, and so I'm in the same boat. Usually, in order to play a card, you need to pay at least 1 CP in the element.
Okay.
So like if you wanted to play a 3-cost wind card, you have to pay 1 wind, but then the other 2 mana could be made up from whatever element you wanted.
Okay, makes sense.
But like I say, you don't have to worry about that because everything in there is wind. So we both take 5 cards at the beginning of the game,
5, yeah.
and then, as I said, we're playing them face up, so plunking it down like that. And you can just pretty much see all of it apart from Freya there. At this point, you decide whether or not you want to keep your hand,
Okay.
but we will just play with what we've got. Usually, if you want to mulligan in this game, you take your 5 cards, you put them in any order, and then you put them at the bottom of your deck and draw 5 new ones.
Okay.
That's the mulligan. It's pretty simple. But, like I said, we'll just play. On the first player's first turn, they draw a card. After that, the glare, you can't... That's a Ramu, that. After that, at the beginning of your turn, you draw 2 cards.
Draw 2.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bin this Ramu to generate 2 crystal points. And I'm going to play onto the field Seymour. All backups come in dull. So it's just so you can't use them on the beginning. But Seymour has an ability, which is an EX burst. So whenever you play a card, they have little abilities here. Some you have to activate, or some happen when you come into the field. It has an EX burst. If you play it onto the field, you must resolve the EX burst. You haven't got any choice in it. EX bursts also trigger when they go into your damage. But you have a choice when they go into your damage whether or not to resolve them.
Okay.
So I'm going to... Seymour's ability is, when Seymour enters the field, search for 1 summon and put it on top of your deck. So I am going to get And I'm very glad because my shuffling has been terrible. I'll get a Cyclops. Who again is an EX burst, so when he is revealed as damage or anything, he will resolve.
Okay.
So my deck shuffles. So when it's reveal, you have to show your opponent.
Yeah.
But if it's look at, you only have to look at them. So that's gone back on top of my deck. So you know what's on top of my deck.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that, I will pass turn to you. So,
I've got a bunch of forwards and one backup.
but at the beginning of your turn,
I draw
2 cards.
More forwards.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what I will tell you before you go on,
Mm-hmm.
you see this little 3 symbol in the corner?
Yeah, so like stacking.
No.
No?
That means that they are a multiple unit, they're not unique.
Okay.
So you can have 3 copies of that card on the field at once.
Oh, right, okay.
If they don't have that ability, you can only have 1 instance of them.
Okay.
So like Black Chocobo, Adele, can only be 1 in at a time, but the rest of them,
Yeah.
it's fine.
A bunch of chocobos.
You do. So this guy buffs other units, but if that other unit is broken,
Mm-hmm.
he gets removed as well.
Okay, yeah.
That has haste, and when it forms parties, it gets stronger with the other person it's forming a party with. This backup, which is the only one you've got, unfortunately, it breaks your opponent's backups. So it's really good for destroying things that are a problem to you.
Yeah.
But it can only up to cost 3, I believe.
Yeah, of course, 3 or less. Right?
Yeah. Chocobo Knight, he plays Chocobos out for free, but he needs to be on the field for a return.
Okay. Right.
Because that tap ability,
Cost of 4, let's see, a hand onto the field. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a tap ability.
Yeah.
The thing is, when forwards come onto the field, they tend to have something called summoning sickness in Magic. There isn't actually, I don't think there's a term for it in Final Fantasy, but they can't do anything the turn they're played
Mm-hmm.
unless they have haste.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
The tap ability is quite literally that. In order to use the ability, they have to tap,
Mm-hmm.
which means they're dull, so they can't attack and they can't block. But he again, I think he buffs guys when he comes into parties.
Forms by attack, chocobo, and all forwards. Forming party gains 3,000
Yeah.
power.
So essentially, he's the same as this Chocobo. He's stronger, but he doesn't have haste.
Yes.
And I did fail to mention that, but the power is how strong the guy is. That's how much damage they have to take in order to be broken.
Yeah.
Adele has haste, but she's also got a cheeky little ability. If you pay 1 green, she
Yeah.
can't be blocked. Black Chocobo,
Black chocobo, forms party, that party cannot be blocked.
yes, pretty much your entire thing is swarming the board and making your guys either too big to be blocked
Yeah.
or unblockable.
Okay.
But a simple move, if you want to do it, is play the archer out.
So, get rid of. I know I need to put something in the discard.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of chocobos, so with that one would be
Yeah.
a good choice.
That's a good choice. So
Um,
you bin that. Let's block it over here. So that's 2 crystal points,
So I'm getting the archer out.
Yeah.
There.
and all of them come out dull. Yeah, either way is fine. You can then overpay to put another Chocobo out,
Mm-hmm.
or you can bin one to get that Chocobo out, or you can wait your turn.
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm good.
Okay. The hand size in this deck, in this game, sorry, is 5. So if at the end of the turn, if you've got more than 5 cards, you have to discard down to 5.
Oh, right.
But you know, at the beginning of your turn, you had 7 cards. That's fine as long as you end the
End the game.
turn. Yeah.
End the turn.
So, at the beginning of my turn, I draw my 2 cards, which is a Cyclops, which renew, and a Lulu. So, Seymour stands up, because everything readies up unless it's got the frozen condition, which you shouldn't have to worry about currently.
Yeah.
I'm then, in my turn, because Lulu's really good for my deck, because it buffs all my forwards by 1,000 power,
Okay.
I'm going to tap Seymour for 1 CP, then I'm going to bin the Cyclops to play Lulu out. And then I'm actually going to pass turn to you there.
Okay. So I draw 2.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Alright, so that makes things a bit easier.
Okay. So you got your first summon there, which is a
Yeah.
very powerful summon.
Substitute 2 following actions. Choose 1 forward, cost of 5 more bracket. Choose 1 forward of the cost of wireless until the end of the turn. its power becomes 1000. Activate all forwards you control, activate all backups you control. Oh, it's really good.
Yep. If you've got 5 backups down,
Yeah.
you can quite literally cast him for free.
Yeah. Got all the backups to work with though, so...
He stands up, it's fine.
Yeah. So I can tap him and that'll get me 1.
Yep.
Bin something and I can get something forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite literally, what you could do is you tap that for 1,
Yep.
then bin a Chocobo Knight to play the other Chocobo Knight.
To play the other one, yeah.
Yeah. All forwards come in ready.
Sorry, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, that'll be me done.
You happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. So, beginning my turn, I draw 2 cards. And I'm ready to go. Right, so I'm going to tap Lulu for 1 CP, and I'm going to bin this Kate Sith, which I just got, for 3, to play Ilua onto the field, which you'll become very familiar with because Ilua is filth. Ilua has haste, so that means that she doesn't suffer from the summoning sickness, so she can attack on this turn as well. She's also got an S ability, which I don't think many of your guys have S abilities in the deck. But an S ability is you need to bin a copy of itself to use. So I need another Ilua to use the S ability.
Interesting.
Like Freya's got an S ability as well. So I have to bin, an S means a copy of the card, and pay 2 lightning.
Wow, okay.
In order to use her ability. But her ability is, for each Job Dragoon and card name Dragoon you control, deal 2000 damage to all the forwards your opponent controls. So if I have Freya and, say, 2 of the Dragoons, and use her ability, I'm doing 6000 damage to all your forwards.
Yeah.
Which, as you can see from your guys, is quite a lot of damage.
It is, yeah, wow.
I'll untap Seymour for 1, and I will bin this Dragoon to play Freya onto the field. Freya has haste as well. So, as you can see, I've gone down to 2 cards in my hand, but I have a quite strong board presence now.
Yeah.
Going on to combat. Well, we pass phase.
Okay.
Passing over phase, how can I put it? Opens up a chance for you to respond.
Yeah.
Essentially, it gives you a window to do something. So, say if you had the CP available, you could use Diabolus now.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not too sure on the wording of that because it says play, so I think you can only do that in your main phase.
Yeah.
But Archer, because I believe that's not main phase, you could at the beginning of my combat phase, you have the chance to use Archer's ability to break a backup if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Every time I take an action, there usually is a chance for you to respond. The only time there isn't a chance for you to respond is, say, if I play Ilua, playing her onto the field does not open a window. But there are certain cards, like, I don't think we've got any in play right now, but there's certain cards that when they enter the field, they do something.
Right.
And that opens a window.
Yeah.
But just playing a card doesn't allow you to respond. So, going into combat, you haven't really got anything to do. So, I choose one of my forwards, like Ilua. Ilua with haste, because she's coming this turn, she will dull to attack you.
Yeah.
You now have me doing that gives you a chance to do something. If you haven't got anything to do, it goes on to you declaring blockers.
Okay.
But there's no point in you choosing to defend with that because he will just die.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So I do a point of damage to you, so you reveal the top card of your deck and you put it into your damage track. If we point like that. That has an EX burst on it.
Okay.
So when a card with an EX burst goes into your damage track, you resolve it.
Oh, okay, right. So.
And the first one, which is break a monster, there's no monsters to break.
Yeah.
The second one is activate a backup and draw a card.
So activate this.
Yep.
And draw 1 card.
Yep. So you've got card advantage now.
Yep.
Well, even more of a card advantage. Freya will attack.
Okay. Choose 1 backup but cost 3 or less and break it. So is that what you're on? I could do it then.
You could do it now.
There's no point.
Yeah. You might as well just take the point damage.
Yeah. So draw another one.
Actually, if you wanted to,
Oh, 'cause I've got him, so I could do that. Get rid of.
yeah. So essentially, you want to try and generate 5 CP.
Right.
So if you tap him for 1,
Tap in for 1. Hers, so it's 3.
yeah, and then that chocobo there.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's your 5.
Yeah.
So you do this on my attack declaration. You choose Freya.
Yeah.
So her power becomes 1,000.
Yeah.
Because I've got Lulu, it becomes 2,000.
Okay.
But still, and then say activate all backups, so he stands back up.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I haven't got a 5 cost on the field,
No.
and you haven't got any forwards to activate.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've used that.
Mhm.
So her power becomes 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah.
It now goes to you to declare a block. Block
Yeah.
within. Nope.
Oh.
We compare power.
Okay.
So you're 3,000.
Yeah.
I'm 2,000. I die.
You die.
You take 2,000 damage.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't got anything else to do to deal the extra damage.
Okay. So you just.
Yeah, he just stays there.
Okay. So
Until he loses his power.
Yeah. But I need to keep track of the 3.
No, at the end of the turn, it resets.
Oh, that's easier.
Yeah. It's just, it can get a little bit confusing with power reduction and things like that, but at the end of the turn, everything resets. And you've prevented yourself a point of damage.
Yeah, that works.
So it goes to end of my turn, and I pass to yourself.
Yeah.
So you draw 2 cards for the beginning of your turn.
So yeah, back to the beginning.
Right. So if you see this guy here,
Chocobo enters the field, you may play 1 card, name Chocobo from your hand, onto the field.
right. So beginning of your turn,
Yeah?
Chocobo Knight uses his ability to dull,
Mm-hmm.
plays him onto the field for free.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
So you play him on, standing.
Seven.
Then what does his ability do?
Enters the field, you may play 1 card, name Chocobo from your hand, onto the field. On my hand, so I can play him?
Yep.
On the field.
Yep.
Cool. Nice and easy.
So he suffers from summoning sickness.
Okay?
He's dull and can't do anything. This guy has haste though.
Yeah.
And you still have 3 cards in your hand and 1 CP open.
Yeah. So I could tap that and play the black Chocobo.
Yep.
Yeah, forward. Yeah.
One thing I would suggest to you,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have to play something on your main phase, don't, because there are two phases.
Yeah.
There is main phase 1, combat, main phase 2.
Yeah.
So say if you leave it like that, because I could reveal a card that could kill it.
Oh, okay, right, so it's the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So then you go to combat,
Mm-hmm.
you choose somebody to attack with.
Uh,
So he dulls to attack.
so, yeah.
I haven't got any withstanding, so I can't respond to it. I haven't got the mana to actually do anything to stop it. So I take a point of damage, which is a Dragoon. And that's it. A very glary Dragoon. He can't attack.
Okay.
You go to your main phase 2,
Yeah.
you tap your Archer,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Chocobo enters the field. Goes over to me. These guys stand up. And I draw 2 cards, which is a Dragoon and another Seymour. Should I be cheesy? I'm going to demonstrate an S ability for you.
Okay, yeah.
Where am I? Oh, he doesn't actually dull to do that. Alright, yes. So Seymour's S ability. So I have to bin a copy of Seymour
Yeah.
and pay 2 CP. So there's the 2 CP.
Mm-hmm.
So I now resolve his S ability. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a summon, you may cast it without paying a cost.
Oh, wow.
So I reveal the top card. It is not a summon. Is it reveal? So it goes back on top. That was rather costly, but if it had been, say, a Cyclops, which you saw earlier,
Yeah.
it would remove him, him, and him.
That worked out then for me.
It was a risk. I am going to pass turn because I can't risk attacking you.
Okay.
So
People stand up.
people stand up and you draw 2 cards.
Everyone stand up? Everyone
Yeah.
stands up, Draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Ooh, Windrick. So, 2. Got a black Chocobo there.
You can have another Black Chocobo out because he's a unique character. So he's can be discarded for fodder.
Do that to get that out.
That's only 2 costs, so you only have to bin the card.
Oh, cool.
And backups come in dull though.
Yes.
Right. He has an EX burst, which you have to resolve.
Okay.
So you have to choose Illua.
Choose one forward. It cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You choose Illua. This is where Illua is a bastard. During each turn, when Illua is chosen by your opponent's summoner ability for the first time in that turn, cancel its effect. So if you'd used that 5-cost Diablos on her, it would have just cancelled.
Right.
Using that on her, it's cancelled. But now you've procced it, so if you had some other way of dealing with her, you could then hit her.
Okay. So that's me done.
Over to combat.
Over to combat.
Unfortunately, he can't use his ability.
Yeah. So let's fight. Oh gosh.
If he forms a party with him, I
Yeah.
can't block it. And forming a party is quite literally, you can take the 2 cards, they have to be of the same element, which of course you don't have to worry about,
Yeah.
and they both dull to form a party to attack.
Okay.
So you add their power together, so they're a 6,000 attacker.
Yeah, do that.
I can't block it, because it's formed a party. Adia. Adia has an EX burst, which I can choose not to resolve, but I am going to resolve it.
Yeah.
When Adia enters the field, choose one forward your opponent controls with the cost inferior or equal to the number of lightning backups you control and break it. So I have 2, so I can break it 2 cost or less. So unfortunately, Black Chocobo has to die. But he's done his job.
Yes. That's good. I'm winning for it.
When he forms a party,
Yeah.
they all get plus 3,000.
Yeah.
So if those 2 attack, he will go to 7,000 and he will go to 6,000, making them a 13,000 party.
Sweet.
Are you going to do that?
Is there any point?
You do another point of damage to me.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay.
Then I've got this back like this. Should be fine. Famous last hits.
I will let the damage go through. When parties attack, they only do the 1 point of damage.
Okay.
But they get the buffs of doing all that.
Yeah.
So, Kate Sith, it's another EX burst.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you haven't got any forwards to dull. When he enters the field, you choose an active forward and dull it. So he's done nothing.
Yeah.
Over to you. Would you like to do anything else with you?
I'm good.
Okay. So I draw 2 cards, which I am going to tap Lulu for 1.
Yeah.
And bin this Dragoon. Oh, actually no, he gets first strike. I'm going to bin this Dragoon to play this Dragoon onto the field. He's 8k because of Lulu, and I can pay 1 lightning to give him first strike until the end of the turn. But he can't attack this turn because he's got Summoning Sickness. Going to combat, Ilya will attack you.
Yeah.
You haven't got any standing forwards.
So I just take the damage.
Yes. You could have responses, but unfortunately with the hand that you've got no responses.
Yeah. X-Burst.
Oh god.
Choose one forward, opponent controls, break it. That forward is put into the break zone. Your opponent may pay 1 forward from their hand onto the field.
It's a very double-edged sword, that card.
What the flip is that?
You break a forward.
That's helpful and unhelpful.
You break a forward,
Right.
but your opponent can then play a forward from their hand. If they've got no cards in hand,
It's good.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get rid of that one. It's bigger.
Just to let you know, because it's an EX burst, it can target Ilya and break Ilya.
Okay.
Because Ilya's ability is a reaction. You can never react to an EX burst.
Okay.
So if you want to get rid of Ilya, you can.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can play a card from my hand, which unfortunately is going to have to be Esteem.
For free. That's ridiculous. There's no point in that card place.
Then to double down, I'm going to tap Seymour, bin Ramu to play Freya onto the field, and I will pass turn to you.
Okay.
So now I have no cards in hand.
Interesting. Everyone signs up and I draw 2.
Yep.
Triple
Oh my god, the glare is terrible. I'm sorry, people.
no.
Just remember his ability, tap him, you can play a chocobo onto the field for free.
Oh, so I can just tap him and play that?
Yes.
Cool, so tap and come in ready.
Yes. He does suffer summoning sickness, so he can't attack this turn, but...
Okay. Tap you two to get that out. Right, tap. And do we just summon?
What you could do is you can tap one and bin an Alexander to play Adele.
Yeah.
Then you've got the one open to use her ability.
Cool, let's do that. So Alexander.
Yep. And tap one of them. Yep.
To bring Adele out.
Yep.
She's got haste, so she's opened.
Yep. So essentially you just dip him down because he's the only one of your guys that can attack this turn.
Cool, that's easier, yeah. Cool, so then we go to combat.
Yep.
So form a party, possibly. Triple one, all forwards, form a party, gain 3,000 power to the end of his turn. Okay. So these two?
You dipped him down so he can't because he can't attack this turn.
Literally just said that.
Yeah. These two can do
These two, yeah.
So they party attack together.
Yeah.
He goes up to 7,000.
Yeah.
And he goes up to 6,000.
Mhm.
I'm going to declare a block with Dragoon.
Okay.
Because it's a party, I can assign the damage. I will assign the damage to this Chocobo.
Mhm.
But because your guys are 13,000 to my 8,000,
Yeah.
even killing that still kills my Dragoon.
Okay.
But I stopped the damage going through. And
Right.
he survives. I didn't have enough power to kill both of them.
Yeah. But let's stop the you get it out.
Yes.
Right.
You can then pay one to activate her ability.
Okay, well, Adele cannot be blocked this turn.
Yep.
Okay. So what does that mean, blocked?
I can't declare blockers against her. So you know your party thing.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, when you attack, I can't stop it.
So if I attack with her to this one,
No, if you attack,
yeah,
dull her to attack,
yeah, those.
I just take a point of damage. I can't stop it.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
You are always attacking me, and I'm putting people in front. But in this instant, I can't put anybody in front.
Right, makes sense.
So I reveal top card, which is a Freya.
Yeah. And I am done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So stand up. So I get a King of Boomseer and a Zemus. Now, Estine's a bit of a knob.
Okay.
If you control 5 or more backups, Estine gains haste. I didn't have that, but he's been out of turn now, so he doesn't have the summoning sickness anymore. When Estine is blocked, break the blocking forward. So if you put somebody in front of it, it just dies. Unless it's got a way of stopping from being broken.
Yeah.
You can then pay 1 lightning to stand up again and attack a further time.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's what he is called is a legend card. So he's like the top tier card.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into combat. Estine will attack for 9,000.
Jesus. Okay. I'm glad to probably take that.
But remember, if you reveal one of them, you can just break him.
I got.
A Diablos, which doesn't have any experts, unfortunately. So I'm going to pay 1 lightning. He stands back up.
Okay.
He's then going to attack again for 9,000.
Can't block it, can I really?
You can. You stop yourself from taking the damage. It's just you're sacrificing a forward to do it. No, you're just going to take the damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
damage this time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm then going to tap Seymour and bin a Zemus to play a King of Boomseer. When he enters the field, I get to search for a Dragoon.
Okay.
So I'm going to search for... You know what, I'm going to search for a Barbara. Yeah, why not? So Barbara goes into my hand, but I can't play her this turn. It is now over to you. So all your guys stand up.
Draw 2. Oh, got Archer and yeah.
Aerith is really good.
Mhm.
She's got an ability if you control a 7 forward, which you see these little blue boxes here.
Oh,
If it said Final Fantasy 7 in there,
yeah.
then it would trigger her ability to cost 2 less.
That's interesting. Reduced by 1.
1, okay, so she becomes a 2 cost. None of them are 7,
No,
unfortunately.
not sevens.
That one is.
Oh, right, okay.
but it stops my backups from targeting you, your forwards.
Interesting. So that's correct. One. Before you control attacks, choose one backup. You control accurate. Interesting. Trying to get these out. Shot maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait till.
So you can just tap those 2 backups. But what I would suggest is tap 1 and bin the archers to play No.
Yeah.
Because No-No's ability is every time someone attacks, you can stand one of your backups.
Okay.
So it comes in dull.
Sorry. When you control attacks, choose one backup. You control accurate. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then tap 1 to make Adele unblockable.
Yeah.
Attack with Adele.
So declaring.
Go to combat. Yep.
Go to combat. Attack with Adele.
Which dulls.
Yeah.
I can't stop it. So it goes into the damage zone. You stand up one of your backups. Yeah. If you party attack with those 2, they buff each other. Well, he buffs him and him up. So he goes to Chocobo and all. Yeah, so he goes to 9k and he goes up to 6k.
So 15.
Because 2 forwards attacked, 2 backups stand up because of No.
Wow, okay. Sweet.
I'm not going to block, so I'm going to take point damage.
Oh, okay.
So that's a cane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points damage.
It's 7.
It is, yep. So I'm 1 damage away.
Cool. So that is me.
You could try and push the attack, but Chocobo Knight will just die to Freya.
Yeah. No.
But if you look at it now, you have 3 standing backups which can generate 3 CP.
Yeah. So I can do quite a lot of that.
You can play Aerith onto the field.
It's a backup, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about her ability. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. So tap.
Mm-hmm.
Tap. Right, tap.
Okay. So then it goes to my turn.
Yeah.
Everybody stands up. Oh, okay, that's good. So I'm going to tap King of Boomseer and Lulu and bin X-Death to play Barbarisha onto the field. Barbarisha gives all drop dragoons and card names Dragoon haste,
Oh, well.
which actually includes herself. She can pay 1 CP to give another Dragoon apart from herself a additional point of damage. Additional 1000 power, sorry.
Okay.
So going to combat. Estine will swing for 9k.
So I could block it if I. Was it just one person, or would I have to block like these 2 to make up the 9k?
No.
No?
Unless you wanted to kill him. You just, to block an attack, you just have to declare a blocker.
Okay, so. Probably.
Only standing forwards can block.
Cool, chuck for a night.
You don't have to, you can take the damage. But you technically have 4 attacks coming your way this turn.
Odd. Well, I'll take this one then, so by chuck for a night.
Okay.
Just to block it.
I'll pay 1 to stand him back up.
Yep.
And then swing with him again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a point of damage, which,
Okay.
because you don't have any to block with.
No.
I'll swing a Barbara to do another point of damage to you.
Oh, exposed. Choose one forward. Opponent controls, break it. It's that guy then. So. Yeah.
So you break that.
Break that. That comes into play.
He does come into play, and usually you would have just saved yourself there.
Yeah.
But because of Barbara, he has haste.
Oh crap.
But if you targeted Barbara, Freya was still standing to attack.
So either way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no.
So that means you're gonna fight with Kane.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, he swings to the final point of damage.
final fight damage. It's a very cute chuckle.
That is. This deck is very aggressive, and so is yours. The thing is, if I hadn't killed you that turn,
Yeah.
I was 1 point away.
True, actually, yeah.
So-
So I could have probably. Makes makes sense though.
Yeah? Do you want to try it again?
Yeah. Closed hands.
Closed hands. Would you like to record this one or?
Yeah.
Okay. I will just quickly